Welcome to After Dark Podcast. I'm your host, Jess After Dark. I'm here with my lovely co-host,
Ryan After Dark.
Welcome back, guys. This has been a good week. So last week we brought the podcast back. Cheers. Insert hand clapping, or I am hand clapping. Do we need to insert? We will anyway.
We'll see.
That's what she said. But we brought the podcast back, and that was cool. We brought the podcast back. That was our most viewed podcast that we've ever done. Most views on our YouTube channel. I don't know how it did on all the other platforms, but it was good. It was a really good podcast back. So we are excited. The podcasts don't have to do that good going forward or that well consistently, but it was nice to kind of like come back and get so much support. So we thank you guys for listening to our podcast, listening to us chat. So this week, do you want to tell them what we're talking about this week?
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about the TikTok ban, and then we will also be talking a little more on creator responsibility. Ironically, it's the perfect segue. We did the perfect podcast last week to then segue into more things that transition throughout the week. So
agreed. And I will let Ryan talk more this time.
We'll see.
I told him to sit there and look pretty last time, but this time, welcome, Ryan. You can talk.
I'm allowed to talk this time.
Well, anyway, so what happened this week? Obviously, in the U.S., there was the whole TikTok ban problem. Okay, like we're taking away your TikTok. It's national security. We're stealing our data. Whatever the reason was. Okay, and so they actually went through with it. That was kind of dramatic. Like. It was, I don't know what to call it, okay, other than dramatic.
It was definitely dramatic,
That was ridiculous. So, if for you that don't know or didn't experience it or whatever the case may be, they said TikTok is being banned in the United States starting January 19th. And if they continue to run the app, so TikTok continued to run the app, Oracle that holds the app, they have storage in Texas, so it's internally in the United States. Like, that was the problem that was back 4 years ago when Trump initially was like, hey, listen, like data is being stored not in the US. We want it in the US. They fixed that. Oracle now stores it. But anyway, if the app continues to run, what was the rate that was going to be charged?
It was like $5,000 per user. And then there was an additional $500 per user fee per 12 hours.
That TikTok would be fined if we continue.
Not just TikTok. It was TikTok and all of the additional servers and stuff like that.
Gotcha. That would get fined if they continue to run it.
Right.
So that's rough. Like, I think it's 170 million users in the United States.
Roughly,
that's enough to bankrupt a company very quickly.
Yeah.
So that was what was being put in place starting January 19th. And then I guess President Biden this week was like, hey, put out a statement that I won't actually follow through.
Yeah, he's not going to enforce the new legislation was what he was saying.
And he will wait till President Trump comes into office for him to essentially deal with that, which is like just kicking the can. What an odd thing to say, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm not gonna get political on here.
Yeah.
So that was just fact of what happened. So I don't think the U.S. government thought TikTok would leave.
Yeah.
And TikTok not only left, but they left early.
Yeah.
Like they said on the midnight of January 19th they would be gone, and it was what 10:30 Eastern Standard Time that they were gone. They just pulled out.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about that. And that was crazy. Like that, we didn't actually think it would happen. I'm not gonna lie. We were delusional.
Yeah, we didn't think it would happen at all.
We're like, they're gonna play chicken. Last minute, something's gonna happen.
Yep. I thought the Supreme Court on Friday would overturn it.
Yep.
And I happened to short Meta on that exact assumption, but that did not work out. So.
Yeah, and they didn't. They didn't overturn it.
They didn't overturn it. They withheld it, or they upheld it, and then
and we were just stuck. And so now we're sitting here, and we go into TikTok, and we get this message that says like, "I'm really sorry, but like we're pulling out of the U.S. right now. Like, hopefully, basically something about hopefully Donald Trump will work with us. We'll see you guys soon, or something like that. I don't know. That was." Don't ever quote me on anything. Okay.
That's basically more.
It was a summarization of that. And so then Ryan and I made a whole joke that we're now in the dark ages. I don't know
Yeah.
what to do. Like, I didn't end up scrolling IG reels. Like, I actually just decided to clean
Yeah.
the house. But Ryan,
I
would you like to
tried.
share your experience on
I
that?
don't think that I saw anything that was less than like 6 months old. It was horrible.
I've heard that. Like, I've
Yeah.
heard. So when I used to start being on TikTok and my friends would send me stuff from IG reels, I'd be like, this trend happened
Forever ago.
months ago. Like,
Yeah.
it's almost like a lag. I've always said that too about like small towns. Like, my mom is in a small town and she'll text me 4 months after a song came out and be like, I love this song. And I'm like, Mom,
Yeah.
this is so old, but it takes time. And I almost picture like IG being like a
Exactly the
small
same.
town that
Yeah.
doesn't get the info.
It's
quite
like
yet.
it's like the creators like back post or backlog
Yeah,
their
like they'll
stuff.
make stuff
Yeah.
on TikTok and be like, "Oh, this ended up doing well. I'll post it later." Which I've done. I
Yeah.
do
I
that
mean,
a
you do that,
lot.
so yeah.
So now I'm kind of at a point where so many people did come to my IG. I'm getting followers on IG. So I'm like, well, if IG is trash, I'll make it better for y'all
Yeah.
because I'll start posting some
Jess
good
is here to save the day.
I will save IG for us, okay? But that was such a weird time. So I ended up cleaning the house. I ended up finishing Madness, which is
Yep.
an audiobook that I had been like dragging my feet on. Very good, by the way. And then all of a sudden one day, or not one day, like a few hours later, I think it was a total 15 hours later, I went to go open the app and it was like, we're back.
Yeah.
Donald Trump said that he wouldn't find us, so we're good. And I'm like, what just happened? You know? And so it almost felt like a toxic ex that texts you saying you up.
Yep. That's a 3 a.m. text.
And
for sure.
We came running.
Absolutely.
We came running.
Yep. Zero
questions.
Yep.
It was emotional.
Yeah.
I cried the day before. Like, I made a montage video for us. Like, and I was sobbing. Like, I don't know how to explain
why don't you
it.
speak on that a little bit more?
Yeah, like it's if people downplay it, they're like, if you're crying over an app, you're so dumb. And it's like, people in real life struggle as it is to find ways to connect with other people. Like, you're kind of stuck in your own area. As much as you want to, like, you are stuck with the people around you. And it's so hard to find specific people to connect with on such a different level. And TikTok has allowed so many communities. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, what your age is, where you are status wise. Like, if you have kids, if you have, no, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We all connect over like this one niche and we don't care anything else. Like, as long as you're a good person, like, we don't care. We like love and support each other through that. How often do you see that in real life? You don't.
Yeah.
Like, you do not. You either make friends because you have kids and your kids go to school together. You make friends because you're in the same college. You make friends, like, you are so stuck in your corner of the world and that's it. But this app had given so many people like a way to be seen and heard in such a different level. And it was just gone.
Yeah.
And, you know, for me, that has such a community that I engage with day in and day out, that sucked.
Yeah.
Like, that was like, damn, like, it hit me hard that it was not losing like the creator friends I've made because like I just follow them somewhere else.
Right.
It was losing all the people that comment that I and Ryan now talk about on a day-to-day basis. Like, we made a post being like, hey, can you keep your same profile name and same like profile picture and username? Because like, we talk about you.
Yeah.
Brian, Camden, Morgan, like, you guys are like friends in our house that I'll just be like, oh, Brian said this. Camden said this. And Ryan's like, oh, sick, blah, blah, blah. Lana said this. And then we know.
Right.
And we would have lost them.
Right. So it's one of those things that like, it's easy for people to find us, but it's really hard to find them.
Correct.
And that's rough.
Yes. Like, and because some of you have some goofy names on TikTok and I'm here for it. Like, boo boo, like whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But that's who you are in my head.
Right.
So when you go comment on my IG and your name's like Laura Smith, I'm like, who the hell is Laura Smith?
Right.
Where's boo boo? Like, I want you back, you know? So yeah, no, it's just a whole community that would have just been taken away for what? Like, and you could say all damn day that it's data breach or data security. I call BS. I think that there's some people that don't like the fact that we are openly speaking about topics and people are getting a little nervous. But yeah, so that was That was dumb. Like
It
all
was
around, that
dumb.
was just
Yeah,
dumb.
it's just
And
all
I
the way
don't
around
know
dumb.
what
Yeah.
happened. I think, was it like or do we have a 90-day extension?
I think it's 75 days what he actually signed or whatever, but it's so odd. It's like this game of chicken that just shouldn't really be played with, because that's, so I guess one of the things that I had looked into is like, what kind of an impact does that have from the economy and stuff?
Mhm.
So if there's 7 million people that make a living on TikTok currently, if they all went and filed unemployment, it would effectively double unemployment rate in the US today.
Correct. And they're
Yeah.
always like, unemployment's not that bad.
Yeah.
And it's like, because half your people are employed
By other things. Yeah.
If you start taking that away,
Yeah.
people are already struggling to find jobs as is. Like,
Right.
do you want these 7 million people flooding the market more? Like,
Right.
and for all the people that are like, TikTok creators are so dumb, you're crying, just go get a 9 to 5. Like,
Yeah.
I saw someone be like, do you want me to come get a 9 to 5? Because I'm pretty damn good at what I went to college for. I'll come take that job right away.
Right.
And it's like, I mean,
Yeah.
we all have a skill set. Like, yeah, I'll go back to my 9 to 1 a.m. Fuck me. My job. I don't want to,
Right.
but like I will. But it's kind of one of those things that they sell you this American dream. Like if you want something, you can do it. You could start your own business. You could do your own thing. And a lot of people went out and we have a business. Like our KRS Media Group is our business. And that's what everything we do on social media falls under. Like we are an LLC. We started that. Like we started the American dream.
Right.
And like that, they were like, no.
Yeah.
Get off. And it's like, what a mess.
Yeah. And there's really no viable alternatives either. I think that's another thing is, you know, where were all those people going to go?
Correct. We want to talk about how YouTube, oh my gosh, this was so funny. So a lot of people came over to our YouTube channel, which again, thank you guys so much for the love and support. But I guess YouTube does audits like every night. And I got a bunch of followers like that are subscribers, whatever you call it. And one night, I guess for some reason, there was like over 100 subscribers that like YouTube decided were fake accounts.
Yeah.
And so I like log on and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just lost 20 followers. And I refresh, 5 more down, 10 more down, 15 more down. And I'm like, Ryan, what is happening? I'm getting canceled and I didn't even do anything.
Like, didn't even post anything.
I know. And it just like free fell. Like in 20 minutes, I lost over 100 subscribers.
There was like 140 subscribers in a matter of like 3 minutes.
It was crazy.
It's like, wait, what?
And I was like, what did I do? Like, what did I do? But it just turns out that people like have fake accounts. So I love you guys, but don't make a fake account because I'm going to cry. But yeah, like everyone has to find another way to go. And it's not just like, oh, to doom scroll. It's like all these businesses that are working, all these creators that like are making a living, all these. So in our community, all the authors are
that's a big one.
Struggling to how on earth are they supposed to market their books now?
Right.
Like what I know there's a whole like problem in our community about people getting paid for videos or people getting paid for promotions. But like at the end of the day, authors have to market their book and they have a choice. They can go to a marketing agency and pay them, or they can find creators that will do it for free for an arc or whatever the case may be, or they'll find creators that if they pay them a little bit, they'll promote the video, make a promotable video that you pay TikTok to go out like an ad. Without that option, they then have to go find the same kind of thing somewhere else on Instagram or whatever the case may be. But a lot of them don't have platforms on Instagram.
A lot of them don't have, and you don't see the same success on it either. Like when you look at, like if you go do a paid promotion on Instagram, nowhere near what TikTok does.
Correct.
So like, you know, it's hurtful for them.
Yeah. Hurtful for everyone. It just hurts everyone. So yeah, that was just a weird time, scary time. A lot of people, I made a video as soon as TikTok went down on YouTube. And I'm so glad I did because I didn't realize how like impactful that would be. A lot of people were like, I felt very grounded after seeing your video because it's like you just lost so much and you feel untethered. Like, where are my people? Where's my community? And it's like, oh, okay, wait a minute. Like, here's some people. Like, we're still here. So, yeah, that was the drama this week. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I just got a really toxic relationship and we're back together, but I feel a little bit like I don't know if I can trust you now. Okay. Like, I don't know if it's going to stay or not. So we're just going to make the The best of what we got.
That's all you can do.
I'm here. I've said this on one podcast. I'll say it again. I'm here for a fun time, not for a long time, or
That's
a
right.
good time, but not a long time. So, but yeah, with that said, a lot of creators, and this is where I get a little pissed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little heated. Okay. A lot of creators use those last few days to use the sound of, it's from Peter Griffin from Family Guy. It says, if we're all going to die, I have something that I need to tell you. And he goes on to say, I did not care for The Godfather. And Lois and Stewie, and everyone's like, what? Like, and he's like, I just did not care for The Godfather. Everyone used that sound to come out and openly say what they'd lied to their followers about.
Right.
For years.
Right.
Okay. Here's the thing. There are some things I don't care. If you made an entire channel of how to make coffee and you hate coffee, but the coffee lovers loved your channel, I don't care. I don't care if you didn't drink the coffee.
Right.
Doesn't hurt you. Okay. There's a girl, she makes fun little ice cubes. Guess got famous. She doesn't use the ice cubes. Who cares? Okay. If you were entertained, like, who cares? I don't care. But the problem that bothered me were the amount of fitness and health and wellness influencers that openly admitted to lying.
Correct.
Okay. That is so dangerous. Okay. Like, if you don't know, me and Ryan are huge on health and wellness. Like, that became like our entire personality. About 2 years ago, we looked in the mirror and had this moment that, holy, who are we? Like, we were binge drinking all the time. Every weekend, sometimes during the weekdays, we were eating food that was so bad for us. We wouldn't, like, we were exhausted.
We
were
felt terrible.
It was horrible. And you have this moment that, like, in my head, I was so hot. Like, I looked so good, like, whatever the case may be. But then, like, you have this moment where it finally just clicks that you're like, I'm miserable. Like, this is horrible. Yeah. And Ryan actually got a call from his doctor that said, hey, like, we ran a lot of blood tests on you. Man, you need to stop drinking. Like, you need to figure this out. And Ryan kind of went down a rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I went super far down a rabbit hole of just kind of like the different foods and stuff like that would help with kind of what I was going through at the time. And then the other one is obviously like just stopping drinking was just such a big part of that.
Yeah. And you kicked that off for us. I didn't. Like, it was right at Thanksgiving, I think was the last Thanksgiving of 2022 was your last time having a drink. And you looked at me and you were like, I'm going to stop drinking. Yeah. And for me, I'm never going to say that I was an alcoholic because I think there's people that struggle hard with that. And like, I wouldn't say that was where I was at. However, hindsight is a beautiful thing. I had a codependency on alcohol. For sure. Right. And I'm not afraid to admit that. So like, for me, the day that Ryan came to me and said, I'm not going to be drinking anymore, I was like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I can't do that. How am I going to be social? Stuff like that. Yeah. And then, so we just agreed with, I would still drink, but we started off as simple as like, well, let's spend 1 month without going out to eat. What does that look like? And so we did it. We spent actually December 2022. We didn't go out to eat. And then after that, we started the ancestral, like, meat-based.
Yeah, we do like the animal-based diet is what it is.
Yeah, sorry, I always mess that up. But
it's just meat, fruit, raw milk, and honey.
Eggs and stuff.
Yeah, things like that.
So we could do a whole thing on that. But anyway, we went down a whole rabbit hole. And now 2 years later, I stopped drinking in February of 2023. Yep. So I'm almost 2 years sober now. Ryan's over 2 years sober now. We are down. I'm down 25, 30 pounds. Like, your body completely changed. From a face, maybe I could put a picture, like face to face, like inflammation's not there, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is we get health and wellness so freaking much. I have a sauna upstairs. I have a red light thing upstairs. Like, that's where all our money goes. And to see the two of us go through that and say, we could never speak on this because I still don't feel like I know it enough, because there's a bunch of influencers who do this. It's a very saturated market. They must be doing what they're doing for a reason. And then to find out they've been lying to people is wild.
Right.
Because people are trusting them with their body, how they feel. And it's like, go do your own research. It's like, I did what you said could work, should technically work.
Yeah.
It just didn't work as fast as you made it seem like it was going to.
Right.
You went out and got a BBL, and now I'm over here doing my hip dips or hip thrusts or whatever it is, thinking I'm going to get a big, fat, juicy butt.
Yeah.
And I'm not. Or like you said, I should count my macros this way or count my calories this way or like be in a deficit this way or drink this protein powder. And I did it. You and I did it.
We did all of it.
We went through everything these influencers told us to do,
Yep.
and it never worked. And I, as a woman, looked at myself and was like, you aren't good enough then.
Yeah.
If she says it works and she looks like that, then you're wrong.
Well, yeah.
You messed up.
Yeah, you think you're doing something wrong.
Turns out I didn't do anything wrong. It turns out what you were preaching was not what you were doing. Like, that's so frustrating. And so now all these creators are coming back like the next day being like, oh, just disregard what I said.
Well, I've seen a lot of people that went back and deleted the video.
What the hell?
Yeah.
And so we talked about creator responsibility last week. And like, I'm not going to lie, guys. Like, if somebody comes on Book Talk and says, I love this book, and they were blatantly lying, at the end of the day, who does that really hurt? Like, you either be like, damn, that book did suck. I don't really trust your Rex. Okay. Or you read the book and you love it. So whatever. But when it comes to your body and what you're putting in it, like that kind of blatant misinformation is a problem, in my opinion. And so, like, I don't think it's one of those, just forget what I said.
No, definitely not.
No. And so, I don't know, like, if I'm making sense of just, like, that was wrong. And I think this kind of, like, helped clear out maybe a lot of people that we shouldn't be giving a platform to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that when you break it down, it's like, you know, so many people, they go out there and they're trying to find like just credible information because you never really know what you get. Like, you know, you can go to a doctor and the doctor may tell you one thing and then you go somewhere else and they may tell you something different.
Correct.
So you kind of go by what people look like on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, so when you scroll and let's say you're a woman, you go on there and all of a sudden, this person has this, your dream body and you're like, okay, what is she doing? Like, what is she doing right? So I can then follow suit. Or for guys, same thing. Like this guy is shredded and whatever, the super muscular. You're like, that's what I want to look like.
Yep.
So you go out there and you start following everything you're doing, only come to find out that he's, you know, juiced to the hill.
Implants.
Got ab implants or whatever it may be. And it's like, but none of that's actually told. But during that process, and this is where I have an issue with it, is not only are you doing that, misleading people just for views, you're also then turning around and selling something with it. A lot of times you'll see they're directing you to people that are doing supplementation and all this other stuff, which we went super far down that rabbit hole too. And we ended up like, we don't take anything anymore. Like,
like we had the pre-workout, the
all the different
beta line, whatever. Remember that made your skin so itchy? The post-workout, the protein shakes, the protein bars. And at the end of the day, you're spending basically all the money you make just to buy supplements. And then if you take 5 seconds to Google, hey, I need XYZ, what can I do naturally? And it's like, drink bone broth. And it's like, do this, eat food. And it comes down to the fact that what's frustrating for me is it took us years to learn that the best thing you can do for yourself is eat whole foods. Like have a healthy relationship with food. Just make it good food. Like there was one time I was following someone and they're like, stay in these macros, whatever the case may be.
If it fits, then you can eat it.
Then you can eat it. And there was one, I'll never forget it. I put the macros in my thing and it was calories. I wanted calories. And it said the banana and the chocolate chip cookie had the exact same amount of calories. So I had to make a choice. Which one did I want? You'll bet I went for the chocolate chip cookie.
Absolutely.
I love chocolate chip cookies. But what happened? I had a sugar rush and in 20 minutes later, I was hungry again. So for the same amount of calories, I did not get the same nutrition because the banana would have held me over longer. But I would be like, oh, I can't eat that banana. It's too many calories. What? What? Again, I don't want to digress. But the point is, I was following all these people that told me to do all these things, and I ended up spending more money, gained more weight, and I failed every time because it wasn't real. Like maybe for some people, they do follow these things and it works.
I think it works for a period of time, but I don't know that it's sustainable.
Correct. And so I guess it was just kind of one of those things of like, we could have spoken on this if we chose to go. I know we ended up going down the road of books and that's what we
Right.
do. But like, had we ever decided to go down the road of talking about nutrition, we could have talked about it. Like it
Yeah.
could have been a thing. Like I'm not less knowledgeable than somebody else. I did it. Like I went
Yeah.
through it kind of thing. And so to find out that a lot of people hold a platform and they just blatantly lie to people, I'm like,
That's tough.
that's tough because
Yeah.
as a creator, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I am very,
Yeah.
Ryan makes fun of me. I believe that people are genuine
Yep.
because for me, everything you guys see is genuine.
Yeah.
If I want to get a live reaction from Ryan and I don't get the video in the live reaction, we never do the video.
Yeah. We won't
We
do it
don't
again.
reenact it. We don't whatever. So like when you see live I'm a one take Drake kind of girl. Like
Yep.
if I don't get it the first time around, you're not getting
Yeah, you're
the
not
video.
getting it. Yeah.
You're not getting. And Ryan's like, just redo the video. I'll be like, nah,
No, it's not the same.
doesn't have the same
Yeah.
appeal to me. So just to find out people make a whole channel of
Yeah.
lying. First of all, that must be so exhausting.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? Second of all, like, I feel bad for us, the people
it's the
consuming
end consumer.
it. Like,
Yeah.
it's just frustrating. And it leads to, I'm sure, everybody just having this sour taste of like, you never know who to believe. And I'm not
Right.
telling you to believe me, but like, you can believe me because I'm pissed off with y'all.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. But yeah, I don't know how these creators are, but they are. People are gonna forget.
Yep.
People are gonna not know they ever made that video.
Yep.
And they're gonna go on.
Yeah. Well, that's like the whole what was it, the Liver King guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he was one of the guys that was on there that I mean, looking at him, you knew something was up, but
Yep.
he was very, very open that he was not on anything, and everything he did was like just as natural and ancestral as it gets. And it's like, as it continues to go, and it's still been going on for years, of like just how dishonest all of that was.
It's crazy.
It's-
Like that's
it's
who we started
crazy.
off when we started our nutritional like
That was
thing.
yeah.
Like he
First,
was
yeah.
the first person, and like we were hurt when like I know you were hurt when you found out it just wasn't
Yeah.
true.
Well, I
'Cause-
mean, yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things where, I mean, looking at him, you can probably guess that it's not completely true, but like you thought that there was a little bit more of a base to it than that.
correct.
So,
Agreed. So, yeah, for anybody that has been upset this week by just kind of the people coming out, we feel you. And if
Yeah.
maybe luckily, what did I just say? I don't know.
Yeah.
But if your favorite creators did not disappoint you this week, then I'm glad that
Yeah.
happened. I don't think there was a lot in the book community like that happened this week.
I don't think so.
We just all did like funny little things. Like I never read this, or I actually really like this author, or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like we did our funny little things. But yeah, no, it's just kind of crazy. But I am glad the app is back for the short
Yes.
amount of time. I have kind of changed my mindset. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The idea of doom scrolling, I do think there's some validity to getting a
Yeah.
little addicted to scrolling. So I'm trying to do better about not scrolling so much.
Right.
And more engaging with my community rather than focusing on consuming other content.
Yep.
So that's been kind of helping me in a mindset. But yeah, this week it did suck. Like, I mean, it did suck or
Yeah.
valid and being kind of nervous about it. But
Yeah. I
I'm
think
glad we're back.
it's one of those things, like you spend so much time building something, and then just to
For it
like
to
in
be
a matter
gone.
of literally, like it was there 1 second, and then the next second it was just completely gone.
Correct.
So
At least the accounts are there. I've heard some people like, first of all, some people deleted the app and now
Yeah.
they can't re-download it.
Yep.
That sucks. But at least our channels are there. I do appreciate a few people reached out. Like
yeah.
one person was from the Middle East. She's like, "Hey, I'm in the Middle East. I checked your account. Like your account's still there. You still have everything." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Girl, thank you for looking out.
Yeah,
Like
no kidding.
appreciate
Yeah.
that." But at least we have our stuff. But yeah, that
Stuff.
15 hours sucked, guys. We
Yeah.
were but also very embarrassing. for you guys
Yes.
to have
Very
been-
embarrassing for
I'm
us.
not- I'm not gonna-
Yes.
Do you know that people were talking kind of some trash about us while we were gone? Some
Not
people
us in particular.
Oh yeah, no, about Americans.
Yeah.
While we were gone, and some people were talking a little bit of smack before we even left, and I was like, I felt like
Yeah.
there was one post that
Did
said,
somebody get banned over
"Oh,
it? Yeah,
somebody
with a big
in
account got
Canada
banned.
got banned over it." This is not the post, but somebody in Book Talk, she said, "Now that the Americans aren't here or something like that, can like other countries take over book talk. Like, comment below where you're from. And first of all, she didn't respond to, she had 650 comments and she didn't respond to any of them. I was like, girl, you missed out on a great opportunity to grow your account. But two, we hadn't even lost the app yet. I felt like I was about to go to prison and my little sister was in my room measuring where she's going to put her bed.
Right.
Like, and I was like, can you wait till I'm gone?
So funny.
But most people did actually miss it when we left. And then when we came back, everyone's like, this was the worst 12 hours. I was like, I love you guys so much. So, but yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to hit on?
No, I think we're good.
Oh, okay. You talked more today.
A little bit.
Yeah.
That was me, not you.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you everybody for listening, and we will see you next time.
We'll see you next time.